Welcome back to day 5 of Masters Tokyo on our second match of the day, and one genuinely I don't think anyone thought was going to happen, but we're very glad it is. It's the EMEA champs of Team Liquid taking on China's Edwards' very own gaming. Of course, I'm Golden Boy here, joined by Kakuka. Wait, Kakuka and Doug.
Did you hit the point wrong?
It happens.
I did.
I'm flagging this.
Okay, it's okay. Well, human resources, you're getting a call. In any case, here's an interesting fact, because I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but time is a meaningless construct that has no basis in reality. These two teams have played each other before. That's right. They actually faced off against one another in Istanbul, of all places. But as you can see, the result down there, Team Liquid versus EDG, 2-0. Kakuka,
yeah.
These are two different teams now, without a doubt, though.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's the same amount of liquid, and this one has the amount of mech or gambit right now because of how many things have changed and the players coming in, and of course how different this year is. But the biggest highlight is that many people did not expect Team Liquid to actually be the winners of EMEA. So of course a lot of things have changed. We are seeing an EDG that is coming and destroying spectatives, and now the Team Liquid, we can say that they did the same in the region.
Yeah, that's right. It really has been cool to see all of these teams throughout this split start off rough starts, right? We just saw with EG, now we're getting with Liquid, we got it with EDG. It really has been cool to just see the trajectory of these teams.
And it feels like they're all peaking at just the right time, right? Like there are so many times we've seen teams, be it esports, traditional sports, wherever, where you're hitting your stride, but it's not at the right time, right? It ends up being insignificant, and then you flatten out when it matters the most, and that just hasn't been the case.
And especially during the regular season, we can say that happened to a lot of teams in all three regions. You have a peak moment at the beginning, maybe at the middle, and you cannot keep that up. You cannot make it to playoffs. For Liquid, this line has just been going upwards until they managed to secure that trophy for them at the end of the season.
Hey, we were just taking a look at Liquid, walking away with the chip over Fnatic, and I can't help but wonder, if you're Liquid, you're hearing what people are saying, right? Oh, they shouldn't have beat Fnatic. Oh, that was a blip on the radar. Oh, that was a fluke, right? Like, I can't help but wonder if you're those players, you go, we've got something to prove out here, because we came in as the #1 seed, but there's still haters.
There really is.
I feel like everybody, well, not everybody, but some people are still in that point of being like, I can't wait until they lose to be like, oh yeah, I was right.
Yeah.
No.
Sure.
People love saying I was right.
But you even saw it there in those stats, right? That there was a very clear path of improvement that this Liquid team has had, and obviously a big part of that is the IGL. It's my homie Redgar. I for one, just so glad to see this team popping off the way that they have been, and it's because they got someone in here who knows how to lead a team to victory, has done it before, and has now done it again, Kakuka.
And he does it in so many different ways, but for this Team Liquid for such a long time, let's say for years, the big question is, can they have a real IGL? And definitely the difference between the match last year and this one, I think the major one is going to be Redgar. The way that he's implemented and actually created a new one, just merging these two teams and actually getting the best out of the two, I think it's something that is going to be a major difference on the stage.
Oh, I mean, it has to be, right? If you think about the previous matchup, it was just Yampi and Soulcast who were there, right? Now they have Nats, now they have Safe, and now they have Redgar. And you're right, you're answering questions on, do you guys have an IGL? Do you have someone who can call? And let's be perfectly clear about Redgar, because as much as I love the guy too, he was the recipient of a fair amount of criticism at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. He
didn't look great, but much like the trajectory for the rest of the team, he's gotten better. Liquid's getting better, and they're peaking at the right time.
Hey, for Redgar, I mean, he's been there, he's done that. It's like a bike, sometimes you kind of stumble a little bit when you get on it for the first time. I know I definitely do, but then after a while, you just start to look like you're just out there ready to run some kind of bike race.
I just have a feeling you have no idea how to ride a bike. I don't know if that's true or not at all, but there's just something in me that tells you GB can't ride a bike.
I see content.
Your boy knows how to rip it in a tricycle. In any case, though, let's go ahead and talk about EDG, Edward Gaming. Of course, the biggest surprise here in Tokyo by a landslide. And most importantly, they got their first international win, and then they followed it up by making it out of knockouts. And Kakuka, this team has really lit up this stage. I mean, everyone's talking about Kong Kong, but I feel like it truly has been the sum of all of its parts.
Oh, yeah, totally. Like, small games, so many players within this. And as you're saying, even if they don't win on the stage, they have already won our hearts. We always have this kind of runs. It's kind of surprising that this year we're having two with EG and EDG breaking and destroying expectations. And it's so good to see in the fashion in which they did it, because now teams really respect them in the sense of we know it's something that we cannot forget from one game to another, how things really unravel, because EDG on the last time they played, they looked very solid there. There were plans on the attack. It wasn't just the crazy shots. It was a lot of planning behind that.
And there were still plenty of crazy shots, which was fun. But
too.
You're right. There was a lot of depth to it. I think the fun thing about watching EDG has been, for a team that hasn't had very much success, right, up until this point, you see them start to hit their stride and you go, all right, you came off of a really big emotional win. Where's the hangover?
Wait, do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he just has it.
He reloads.
Yeah.
My guy is thriving up there, dude.
He's just been so electric to watch. There hasn't been any emotional, like, fall off or let down or hangover, if you will, whatever you want to call it. Like, they just continue to execute. They continue to improve. And the flashy plays haven't slowed down. And the fun thing about them is that's not what they're relying on, right? Like, there's so much more to their game that, yeah, you're going to have the best op in the world do his thing, right? Like, he's going to pop off, but there's so much more depth to their game that they don't have to rely on that and still succeed.
Yeah, and that truly has been really the part where you see this EDG team blossom. It's that you see their layers there. They're really beginning to hone in on that. But also, and this is an important thing to note here, is that, you know, this team, right, win or lose, set out to accomplish the thing that they wanted to do. They got to this moment here, and this is actually from Haldong himself. He actually said, our goal this time is to achieve our first victory in international tournaments. Additionally, we aim to make it to the top 8 if possible. So, buddy,
it's all done.
Job done there.
Yeah, we need to repeat this interview. I mean, for them right now, after the wins that they've gotten and all the love that they're receiving from the community, maybe this has changed, because I don't think that they want to go home.
But think about how impactful that is, Doug. You came here to achieve a goal. You not only did one, you did both, and now you're just thriving on that stage.
It becomes intoxicating, to be honest, because you come in with a very low bar, right? You just want to get a win. You get the win. You're like, cool, man, that feels good. All right, top 8, that was just stretch goal. We hit that too, and all of a sudden you can't help it. Well, you can't help it, and you go, we can freaking do this thing. Like,
exactly. You have to stop for a minute and be like, guys, have you all realized what is going on here? Like, we can actually make this.
Like, we're actually gonna win. That's crazy. Well, actually, you want to know what's even more mental is the fact that we actually did get an opportunity to talk to the one and only Chichu. The Chichu train decided that he wanted to run over Team Liquid. Check out what he had to say when I interviewed him in the Verizon post-match interview. So I guess the final question I'll ask you then is, well, you're going to the playoffs. Who do you want to play?
你要进入到下一轮了。现在的话，最想要遇到哪一位选手呢？
Liquid Nats.
He wants Liquid Nats. That's right. He wants Team Liquid. Chichu, congratulations, my friend. So I a little bit more on that, because I did
everything they want.
Well, yeah, it's very true. I mean, these guys are just winning.
Yeah, they're just winning.
Get them a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
No, the thing that I wanted to highlight on that was before the interview, I actually was talking with Chichu out on the side, and I just asked him, I was like, you know, any teams you want to play against? Because it seems like you guys are just having a great time out here. And he did go into detail, and he said that we idolize Team Liquid, and we really want to play this team. But now, well, Chichu's getting his wish. They're going to go head-to-head against Team Liquid. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. He's going to play Nats here today, Doug. And, well, I think this is ask and you shall receive.
And the funny thing is, too, when you look at some of these stats, they're not as different as you would expect them to be.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Nats, for as long as has dominated the professional VALORANT scene, only has one more international event than Chichu. They have more records, or more series played, excuse me, but they match up surprisingly well.
Yeah, exactly, because we need to remember that Gambit, that Meg, did not make a single international event last year, so of course that number is not going to be that different. I'm also very happy that they were to say, Liquid instead of, you know, the usual suspects of Fnatic and Lab being like, oh yeah, we want to get... No, we want Liquid. Like, they're very specific about it. And I think that this matchup is very important also because of the roles and the agents, because for Nats, we literally spent the entire season asking and begging of him to play that Killjoy, and he didn't do it until playoffs. And actually, probably that is one of the reasons why the layers and the depth onto Team Liquid gathered them and actually made them get that win.
But also, and I think that this needs to be said, right? We just saw Loud get 2-0'd on that stage. They were the America's champs, right? We haven't seen HyperX yet, but we do know HyperX might be coming in a little wounded, not having something potentially. But then, you know, now with Team Liquid, Doug, there has to be that doubt creeping in the back of your head, like, I don't know, are we as good as we thought we were? Like, and I'm not trying to say Team Liquid aren't. I think they definitely are. Sure. But let's be honest here. This event has been really topsy-turvy.
Oh yeah, and I also think it's hard to feel exceptionally confident when you're going against what has been throughout this tournament run, the best player in the game. Right? Like, you know, you're watching the highlights, you're hearing the reactions of these insane moments that this team has put together. And yeah, there's a very natural, like, okay, yeah, we're the #1 seed, but hang on. Those guys across the stage, they know what they're doing. Like, they're real.
Yeah, they are. And it's going to be an intense matchup. But earlier, we actually did get an opportunity to sit down with EDG's Howdong for his thoughts on making playoffs and why he's excited to face Team Liquid.
现在感觉心情肯定是很兴奋的吧，因为我们已经进入到淘汰赛，也是第一次进入淘汰赛，内心又紧张又兴奋。觉得代表 CN VALORANT 第一次进入季后赛，这也是比较跨的比较大的一步吧。然后也从前面的失败当中学习到各个赛区的对于心态方面的处理吧。当比分越来越接近的时候，我们的压力是会很大的，但是 反观我们的对手，压力就没有那么大。然后这次每当比分接近的时候，我们都是没什么压力的。
Away, an attempt made, and look at this guy. He's so hungry, he's so out for blood. No side player, yeah, he does absolutely. There's the classic.
我认为 Liquid 打法上面是处于欧洲的传统 FPS 游戏上这么玩游戏的，但是我们不一样，我们会 经常的去创新一些新的打法吧。我对于 Socas 只是因为第一次在伊斯坦布尔的时候是 Socas 把我们送走的。其实，我认为像 Team Liquid 的 Redgar and Navid Angel， 其实他们的指挥风格我认为是差不多的，就是欧洲 FPS 方面的话，而且我感觉我能更胜一筹。我觉得他们一定会小心我们的。
Well, now I'm fascinated. A European FPS style. Well, Kakuka is our resident European here on the desk.
Yes.
Your thoughts?
I think that he has studied, he's done his homework definitely, because there is a lot of similarities in how they want to do things. Yeah. In fact, you know that in EMEA we're pretty slow, and I think Team Liquid is actually the slowest team getting a first kill on the attack. This is going to clash a lot with EDG and how fast they run things and they want to do it. But he has acknowledged that, like, he knows that the performance is going to be different, and he needs to swap out a little bit and create something different to actually be able to win against Team Liquid.
I'm looking forward to that, you know, and look, we have a lot of head-to-head matchups to pay attention to, but one head-to-head matchup that I think everyone's got their eyes on here, Safe versus Kong. Doug, without a doubt, this is going to be a matchup to pay attention to, but also just because Kong has been so electric on this stage.
I mean, it's a matchup that's going to be impossible to ignore. I absolutely agree with you. You talked about how electric Kong has been. You know how good Safe is. He's been showing it all year. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I think the fun thing, again, to go back to Kong is this, like, they're just playing with so much confidence, man. Like, how do you look at a guy like that in the eye and think you can go toe-to-toe with him? Because right now, he seems untouchable.
Yeah, I think that also Safe, you know, coming without that previous warm-up that EDG, of course, has had during the groups. We want the flexibility for him. I'm also looking at that operator duo, because we know that in Team Liquid, Redgar has been picking it up a lot on Lotus. On the Omen, Yampi can play it from literally any agent because he doesn't care. But Safe can also do it. So, of course, I feel like they have more ways of shutting down and actually look at that head-to-head a little bit differently.
It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. We've been treated to a great game as it is, but now our coaches are standing by for the picks and bans. Let's go ahead and have a little listen in.
All right, congrats Congrats both of you for making it to playoffs. Nice to see you guys. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. You guys will come in as the higher seed. Do you want Team A or Team B?
Team B.
Team B. So EDG, you will be Team A, and we will start with your first band. They've been Ascent, your band. Been Pearl?
Yeah.
They've been Pearl. Your first map? Side on Haven. Map number 2. Split. Side on Split. Attack. So we're going to go into the next set of bands, starting with EDG. You have Fracture, Bind, and Lotus. Band Bind. Your band, you have Lotus and Fracture.
Fracture.
Okay, so map number 3 will be Lotus. EDG side on Lotus. Attack. Okay, I'm going to run through this, make sure you're all good to go. So first set of bands, I have Ascent and Pearl. Map number 1 is Haven with the Team Liquid on defense. Map number 2 is Split with EDG on attack. Next set of bands were Bind and Fracture. Map number 3 is Lotus with EDG on attack. Good? All right, good luck to you both.
Gaming. Team Liquid.
EDG idolizes Team Liquid, but sometimes those idols need to fall. And for Team Liquid, they need to hold true, because if they don't, well, they will prove the doubters wrong. EDG versus Team Liquid. This matchup has all the makings, Doug, to be a banger.
Oh, yeah. Individually, the matchups are there, the storylines that are there, the fact that you're looking at a Titan from EMEA against this, like, blossoming star in EDG, all of it matches up well.
We know how powerful headbands are. Breaker told me yesterday that he was going to, he bought several of them, so he expects to be here for a while. He told me what was in this, but I honestly forgot, because he told me last night, and but we know how powerful they are. I love to see the smile on the faces. They're really excited to be here. Yeah. They know what is at stake, of course. They raised the lower bracket, but after that performance that you had regionally, you want to translate that onto the international stage. And more on, Nats and Redguard just want to join Chronicle on having 2 titles, and that has to start here.
Yeah, it really does. But, you know, and they know what they need to do, but they also know that they cannot risk anything. So there is a lot of pressure on this Team Liquid squad to overperform, I might say, because imagine this. You're going to the EMEA finals, you take out one of the greatest teams that Valorant has ever seen in Fnatic, and then you come here and you lose to EDG, a squad, Doug, that's genuinely just, the term we keep saying it, but they're playing with house money. So that is problematic if Team Liquid were to struggle here today.
Yeah, I do think there's a lot to be said about the fact that they're playing with house money, though, right? Because it's not only is their playstyle so unique, right, that it's impossible to play against. There's nobody in EMEA who plays with that pace, with that style, with that swagger. So you think about how like tactically and fundamentally sound Liquid are. The fact that your Redgar is as traditional as it comes, and I say that as someone who loves fundamental, like, traditional Valor. Like that's how I think the game should be played. You can't match up against that. You can't necessarily prep against that well. I think it's a hard setup.
Yeah, and also another fascinating bit. We've been talking to a lot of players here.
Yep.
And across the board, every team, every player has told me EDG is a good team to scrim against because they learn a lot and they're really good.
Funny enough, I also asked Team Liquid, like, hey, have you been practicing against them? They said that, yeah, of course, they practiced against them a lot, and they actually had very good scrims.
Well, here's your Prime Gaming Agent Select and what we're going to get out of this one here. And of course, you know, you're going to get the Cypher for Chichu there. I mean, Kukuka, anything here that particularly stands out to you?
Well, the only two things besides the Sentinels and how they played and what they can offer to you on the attack is that Sky versus Soba. We know how good Solkas was on this agent. He was a legend. So the fact that he's back on this for Haven, by the way, Haven is a map that for a very long time Gambit could not play. So the fact that they have played it and now actually improved it to a point that they decide that they want to play this over Pearl definitely shows some confidence and probably some preparation against EDG.
The pressure is on. This guy, by the way,
I love it,
man. I love the crowd's hot. Everyone's electric. Let's make this game happen and send it over to two guys that are all about twirling mustaches and tying ladies to trains. It's the dastardly Brennan Sideshow.
Don't know where to go with that one, man.
That's quite the allegation, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll give you a real review. I missed the second part of the whole thing, but
yeah, well, that's all right. That's all right. You don't have to worry about that part then.
Yeah, let's get into it. Edward Gaming versus Team Liquid, and honestly, at this point, Josh, in Masters Tokyo, it feels like we're reaching a bit of a turning point in the tournament. Early on, it was quite predictable, but now we're reaching a stage where you've got EG over Loud, you've got Edward Gaming that have achieved all of their goals. The first win for China, top 8 within their grasp. In fact, now here they are playing against the #1 seed of EMEA.
Yeah, one of the great things about going on a Cinderella run like that is that you get to meet your heroes. You get to potentially beat your heroes too. And I think it's just started out in such a cool way with Chichu being able to play up against Nats. And Chichu is one of the only players that's sticking to playing Cypher on Haven. Whereas even Nats himself, after having played Cypher on Haven in weeks 1 and weeks 3, yeah, he was talking in the press conference about how you should not be playing Cypher on this map, okay? He said it was boring, you're not able to fight at any point, and that he, you know, was looking to pivot away from it. And here he is again, second time playing the Killjoy. I believe this kind of split, if you want to talk about it like that.
Yeah, it was the only time they brought out Haven with the Killjoy on this map was in the grand finals. So.
Right, and now here again.
Let's get this one started. Pistol round for map #1 here on Haven. It's important that EDG, a lot of their game plan centering around, of course, Kang, we have to talk about this guy. We will be talking about him as well, but you know, he loves to op. Unfortunately, there's no loans in this game. You have to earn the money. So you want to get off to that great beginning. Incredibly slow at the beginning, isn't it? Just
yeah, very.
Really making sure that nobody oversteps themselves.
Howdong using that smoke twice in the same place there just to deny short information. Safe loves playing in those kind of spots, but Team Liquid have gambled that it's going to be a B hit. Now as the drone comes down over towards A, you see a migration.
Yeah, starting to shore up.
Trailblazer, though, doesn't see anything.
It clears down. Wow, okay, Kang was just contacting all the way. Flash through. Enough Liquid players, though, onto the site that...
Yeah, they bailed. I mean, that was a stun recon combo. And Team Liquid were able to just fend it off in terms of sheer bodies. EDG, though, leaving nobody in this spot. Maybe to stop a reclear or possibly to have people go back in this direction, but the spike looks like it's heading rapidly over towards C. Nobody now becomes alert.
So many contact players. I mean, nobody's just lurking his way up there. That's a Sova spotted, honestly. That's going to keep a bunch of Team Liquid players just tethered to this A site, because they're like, why would your initiator be lurking in this scenario?
But it's kind of got EDG into a decent spot. They're in a 4v5, but they get a plant down here, aware of the nanoswarm. And I think now with a player down, you usually are looking to make some level of an aggressive play. They have that fault line recon dart back online. It's what this composition relies on so heavily.
Smog is holding his own stun here. First sign of util that gets used. We're going to let this one rip. What's he waiting for? Stun, flash, there it is. Lets loose his own. That's going to be pushing him back. Time's starting to really become a bit of a problem now. Team Liquid need to get a move on. They need to land these shots here. Cross stuff, lined up. And with the pistols, it's all curtains, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, Edward Gaming came out with a fantastic game plan there, but Team Liquid were really quite slow to adjust to all of that.
They were very convinced that EDG were going to go for a re-hit. And to be honest, EDG a lot of the time do like to play that kind of style. Cut noise. Go for a repop into a site.
One enemy remaining.
Liquid there with Rega at the helm making the wrong call, and yet still confident they could win the 5v4 retake. Didn't quite work. It's a really important pistol because, like you said, it starts to get the economy flowing. Kankan's going to take full armor and a marshal into this round, but keeps 1,200 in the bank for him to buy up an op later on.
That's exactly what that indicates. Deep smoke into lobby. Familiar beginnings to the start of this. No one on the EDG willing to, again, overstep themselves towards a lobby. They're just willing to play it slow at the beginning. And now they're going to be droning again. Look at how far back that is. All the way close to the corner. Will it clear anybody? It does get the tag on to save. He has to back away. Needs a flash as well to just get around the corner. While all this is happening, the rest of Team Liquid also going for a bit of exploration, seeing if they can catch one of those cheeky kills. But
in the grand finals and all throughout playoffs, actually, these were some of the most dangerous rounds for Team Liquid's opponents. Nats with the Ghost just looked absolutely different. So even though you might just be thinking, yeah, of course, plain sailing for EDG, this, I think, will be a good way of kind of starting out utterly flawlessly. Kankan also getting 4 kills there, 800 extra credits that he'll be very happy to put into the operator fund.
It's 2 away from the knives as well.
Yeah. I mean, all of this helps their flow massively. And I'm wondering if at some point here Team Liquid tried to up the pace. We saw them go for a lobby pressure this round. But you see how far back the drone is being used. You called it out, Brent. I think that's because they're anticipating Safe and Soulcast being pushed up like that over towards a lobby. And they're just going to get flushed out in those kind of situations. All right, good start. And a slow tempo to begin.
Deep cam to mid. He's going to be watching for any exploration. Doesn't actually catch the close corner. If anybody from Liquid did push out of double doors, but we can see on our screens these setups. Not as likely.
Soulcast has used both of his flashes for Safe to get information. Safe is fairly confident there's nobody short right now, although he's given it another little check. Now as the cage goes up, he's in a bit of a difficult spot. This is again where nobody's been using his drone previously.
Yeah.
See what the util looks like now.
Doesn't have anybody else to play with him though, and here we go, Smoggy holding some util. It's just a corner check, shoulder check, there it is. Kill found, cannot get out of there. Dug himself into a bit of a hole.
But look, EDG not accelerating. And Liquid not over-rotating either, though Yampi does come to try and support Soulcast. EDG are just backing up. I mean, look at the lurk from Shichu. Quite reminiscent of the pistol round here, no?
Yeah, he's all the way up. He has a cage as well if he wanted to block off that sightline angle from where the turret is, but just gonna hold C long.
Guiding light out from Soulcast, does not see anything A long whatsoever, so now they read it. You see Redgar sprinting his way over to C. What does the timing look like? Looks like EDG are gonna be able to get in.
20 seconds, I mean, yeah, they do get themselves into the site. What's the attempt and what's the call from Liquid? Players are only just starting to get into position. Do they want to try and flood in? Plants down. Too much to offset it. Kang. So locking that one down. It's a flash play. Lovely angle on that one. Doesn't actually get it though. Just forces a couple of these lines and the angles here. Soulcast with the rifle resetting. Chichudo cleaned up and traded. With a gun advantage, player advantage. Get themselves into the site easily enough.
And Soulcast there, the player on your screen. He's a big difference maker in that situation. Swings back side with the Vandal, manages to pick up 2. Though, of course, Team Liquid had the better weaponry, and that is going to do some serious economical damage. Oh, wow. They knew that Safe was there, and I'm sure they would have continued to chase, but the fact he doesn't even manage to get out with a dash.
Let's go!
The energy's good, the economy isn't. It's a Spectre and a Judge for Liquid.
That is interesting. So, maintaining, at least with that gun advantage. EDG not running away with a bonus round here, but this is a heavy A play from EDG. Real disrespectful. They've been playing this so slow off the rip now, but this time just taking all that space on A long.
Safe is playing another kind of one-and-done spot, though. He's relying on his dash and maybe a Trailblazer to bail him out in these kind of spots.
There's a Soulcast with him, but it's being held. Drone. It's from nobody now. It's going to be clear and close. That means the dash is activated. Here's a stun, an attempt to try and play. Nope, just getting out of there. Once more, pump with the util. Trying to buy a bit of that space, but we're down to the minute mark.
This looks way more committed, though, from EDG. They don't have any lurks on the other side of the map.
Flash into the corner, listening for footsteps just in case they are still there. May have heard one player move. Here's the dog being used now. Bit of re-clearance. Soulcast also has Seekers, but here we go. Go button is pressed. That's a fault line. Paranoia, flash, and the dash is actually quite excellent inside the smoke. Kang, he's still safe, but he haven't cleared short. There we go. Soulcast is finished, but still, players, they maintain the grasp. The defensive play just crossfire. Yampy really just turning up here.
30 seconds left.
Choo-choo. Last one standing. Players to try and muscle his way through. Safe, really putting a stop to it.
Another big performance from those two old guard Liquid players. It's Yampy this time that steps up. Wow, gorgeous spray transfer onto Kankan there. And dealing with Smoggy too. Kankan, I think, just staying inside his cloudburst for a little too long there, not confident in the utility. And he did also get counter flashed, again, by Yampy. Those two, Yampy and Soulcast, the only members of the roster that were part of the Team Liquid that eliminated EDG from Champs last time they played. Yeah. So, in some sense, a revenge match, but I don't think that'll really be what's on Edward Gaming's mind here. It's just about how far you can go in the tournament at this point.
Absolutely. Achieving that first win, making the top 8, those were the goals that they set themselves out to get with this tournament. At this point now, how far can they go? Aldong was talking about, the potential of revenge against Liquid after being eliminated. But these are new teams. Shock Dart's close, not breaking that alarm bot. Here's the dash though, over the top. Round the sides, and there's the right click. So Yampy falls, hands a rifle over.
They look very prepared for the areas that Team Liquid are going to be fighting.
This time though, shutting down a bit of a garage pivot. Players trying to work their way through. Kang falls the back and definitely aware of it. And that's tried to, again, adjust that movement backwards and forwards. And wow, while Red Guy was smoking. Kang not wasting any time. Vacuums up the back of the site, and now he is a nuisance. Look at this guy, all the way towards the back, forcing out the seat.
Oh, the team flash
timing. With the flash, he was flashed up safe. He's alone here, has the dash, the updraft, the shorty! Claims the kill. Can he get the 4? But shut down. Nobody pushed up to help it out. But Safe almost salvaging it.
Okay, a very slow beginning to Haven, punctuated by some insanity there towards the end. I mean, both Jet players making the play for their team. Kankan gets into the backside there. Yampy's got no chance of winning that, absolutely none. They just predicted his position perfectly, but this play, to dash onto Redgar and catch him in that timing, beautiful. And then this really gave Safe a chance of winning the round in return. That's a thrifty that will massively help EDG. And now Operator online for Safe.
Operator online for Safe is already making the peek through double doors. Inside the cage, has to use the dash to disengage. There's a lot of util being lobbed at him, making sure they can't get away with too much.
And there's the value of the cyber cages for sure. It gives you that audio cue on when someone's actually pushing and contesting them. So everybody on EDG ready to punish that. And Safe decides to back up without even firing a shot. Here's that same kind of drone being used. I wonder if Liquid try and find timings to push up after they hear this one. I mean, there's a stun being held right now. Yampy decides not to use it.
It's been quite an interesting game so far, just in terms of the timings they're taken. I mean, it's been slowed down frequently, but you see those bursts of explosive play. Deep smoke all the way down, trying to fake like Kang does have his presence there.
They're heading into the op though, and they have no drone.
Yeah, it's used very early.
I think. Oh, Safe's not watching.
Smoggy's flashes, isn't it? That's going to have to push him off this angle.
Except he's not even there. He's not even on the long angle.
30 seconds left.
Go right up close, and Smoggy survives on 1 health, almost getting the collateral. Here's the Blade Storms. Hop over the top, Safe. Let's try and make quick work of this. Shunt this before they can even get into the site. Rolling Thunder collects all of them, corralled up. 12 seconds remaining. Not a chance in hell of trying to get themselves into this. Winners a TP onto B of all places. Aldong, aftershock in his face, 6 seconds left. He has the spike, needs to plant it just in time, but it can be denied. A peek, an attempt to try and again play for it. Fault lines all over the place, just absolute anarchy. At the attempt to just try and adjust and pivot.
Liquid are finding their opportunities to hold on here. They're not getting baited too heavily into EDG's very slow play. They're so happy just to hold themselves and rely on Safe to deliver. This pick is good, and then Yampy immediately coming in and being able to deliver that Rolling Thunder stops anybody from pushing onto Safe. The 1-2 punches have actually worked quite nicely. Now we've got EDG taking a bit of a timeout here. as the score is 3-3. It's definitely been a lot of map working. You know, one of the key things that you're noticing from EDG is that one of the key things you're noticing from EDG is that Shishu is giving them options in the late round on the lurk, but it also means that he doesn't commit into sights with them as heavily.
Credit to Team Liquid. I mean, most teams, when they're planning around a lot of the defensive protocols on Haven, they will want to try and get an operator in their Jet's hands as soon as possible. It's pretty standard, but with the amount that Edward Gaming is slowing it down, contacting, trying to get away with things at various areas, the op is a great tool for that.
Absolutely. And, you know, changing the pace can be a major tool. It doesn't mean that playing slow or playing fast is better in Valorant, but mixing those two is really important to throw defensive teams off their game. And thus far, we've only seen the slow style from EDG, apart from that one round where Kankan went crazy with the Blade Storm on a Thrifty. They're coming into another Thrifty here again with an operator in the hands of Kankan.
This is, nobody has purchased this for Kankan. So they are intentionally doing this in a timeout.
Somebody must have.
Oh, okay. All right, well, baited me with that one. Absolutely baited me with that one. Where did you want me to continue it? Something. It's not here yet. Yeah. Is that what you wanted me to go with that? I'm not doing it. I'm not stooping to your lows.
And so this isn't, again, going to be a really slow round, right? So maybe Team Liquid are going to be expecting the tempo to be increased off the back of a Thrifty. Actually, Kankan's just going to be walking around trying to find picks.
This op is really going to catch somebody off guard, but it's revealed. First shot doesn't land. That was an important one, because now Team Liquid are going to be aware that they've made this purchase. This deep push from Safe, all the information he's going to be gathering for his team.
This is one of the first times since the second round where they've gone for a reactive push to try and catch EDG.
Spike up close to the corner.
Off right guard's contact.
Kankan has a dash, it's not active though, and yep, some sort of timing. I mean, they take the pop flash, but
I think Soulcast just blinded himself and Redguard.
It's the bait and switch! Nobody! He lands his shot. Chev straight to the head.
What an absolute mess from Team Liquid there.
The drone as well to clear this one forward. Soulcast is kind of trapped into the corner. Rolling Thunder, a choice to commit it, but, well, Soulcast is stunned up, yet still stunned, lands it. Shot still there, over the top, trying to offset as well the crosshair placement. Howdong has really just, forced this one.
But also what an incredible recovery from Soulcast. After a bit of a whiff flash, being able to pick up two while stunned has actually kept Liquid in this.
That's his load up.
Safe is the player on the flank right now.
And here, on A-Long, needs to make best of the moment. Close to the left. Didn't catch it, but no kills going either way, and he's still got the dash. Goes for it, lands that shot. And there's a couple more waiting for him. Smoke at the feet. How does he want to try and get into it? Smoke, drop down, half onto the defuse. That's already in, but he's on 20 health. Will fall half onto it, over the top with the shorty. Not the weapon of choice, but again, just didn't really have too many options at his disposal. 4 in the round for Howdong to shut that one down, and we're looking at 4-3. This has been very back and forth.
Yeah, but it's been back and forth in the most bizarre way possible, Brent. EDG won the pistol and the follow-up, and then 2 Thrifties. These rounds are really bizarre. I mean, the first Thrifty, I feel like Kankan went crazy with it. And this time, it's a Team Liquid mistake down short to offer them that opportunity. And EDG are going to capitalize. We've seen from them so far in this tournament, if you offer them an in, they're going to take it. And now it's an op-v-op battle, though not going to start the round with that. Safe takes the standard line down A-Long as Kankan goes and watches towards Garage to start with, and then it's going to come back over here. Yeah, it's a bit more pushed up than standard.
Yeah, this is aggressive. I mean, Safe, he is that guy. Something to prove, honestly, as well. There's a lot of people doubting this Team Liquid squad. Making excuses. Spots the barrel, sees the shoulder, takes the shot, dash into the wall. Still backs away, but Smoke, yeah, not dissipating. Give the clean angle, wants to re-aggress onto this.
What a play by Safe.
This is insane.
I mean, he's just got back onto this angle perfectly. He's giving his team maximum information.
Not that close though. Exploration into mid. The alarm bot dealt with. Nobody trying to hold this ground as well. And now he's worked himself into this lurking position. A cage.
The lurking Sova.
Over the place. Yeah, I mean, this is just adding so many different things into the mix. Trying to keep Team Liquid reeling, but player disadvantage now. A tap onto the plant. Howdong just trying to bait the utility, now actually choosing to stick it, and they've got themselves into that B post plant situation, a smoke.
I love this. Nobody just holds for Howdong to plant, and then Howdong gives him a smoke to play even further.
Here's a lockdown, and nobody does have the Hunter's Fury for it, but he's in a smoke, man. He can't play for this. He's going to try and take the fight well. wiggles himself into that angle, jumping down, trying to double up. Nats covering it. So the lockdown was destroyed. This can play up close here. It's down to Chichu. Doesn't have that angle on him, but he's not watching for the bottom of mid. That's Redgar spraying down. Damage done, but not enough to claim the 2. And so, Josh, I gotta say, one of the most bizarre maps I feel like I've casted. I can't really get a feel for the flow of this because it's just all over the place.
Yeah, it's because EDG are playing so slowly and then using lurk timings in bizarre ways. I mean, that's one of the things that's actually good about EDG, and one of the reasons why I think they've got chances to win even against top teams is that they just play the game very differently compared to what a lot of the regions are expecting. But you got to say, the player that's actually winning this for Team Liquid, I feel, consistently is Safe. He's been able to get so much value with the operator, whether that be like one pick and falling off or just holding the line over towards A. They're giving him ultimate responsibility of holding C all on his own or A all on his own. And it gives the rest of Liquid all the freedom.
Player like Safe as well, you got to think, he's coming into this matchup, everybody's gassing up the whole Kang versus Safe matchup with the duelists. Safe is a player who's been popping off, honestly, the entirety of the EMEA season.
Yeah.
He's been dominant.
He's been hard carrying Liquid in a lot of the situations. Probably not, you would say, the Grand Finals, which is their biggest win. But throughout the rest of the season, Safe was the guy. And he's supported Redgar to get into a very deep position over towards C, which again allows Team Liquid to stack over towards the middle of the map and towards A. They have chances of being able to play a flood retake here off the Seekers. See what they decide to go for.
Dash into the back spam from the Heaven location. I know the Yampi's up there. They do have access to the site. Anything to push this back.
So it's going to be a set retake from Team Liquid. Redgar could have met up with the rest of his team using that Omen ult, and instead he's going on a very slow flank here.
All the way through. I mean, he does have one TP to navigate this trip as well that's on the flank. We'll see if he chooses to do so.
Chichu can hear it though if he uses it, surely.
Yeah, TP's across. I think that is heard by Chichu. It's an important fight again. It's on 2 different fronts. Safe already jumping all the way down, close to the corner. Chichu captures Redgar when he was trying to make the play. Flash and backing away. Team Liquid already make the call. Discipline to back away from this when they realize it's a lost cause. Oh.
Can't get him punished. Yeah, there's another round that's just a bit of a misread, I think, from Liquid. You know, the overall game plan from them is to have Safe providing them huge information so that they can make the right reads. And this time, just not quite. They thought the read was that EDG were going to back away from A and end towards B. That's why they moved Safe over there. They had 3 players around the B area, playing retake A really without any major ultimates with which to do so. Only the Seekers. I don't think that's enough, necessarily. I'd like to see them play retake A with, you know, Lockdown or Rolling Thunder, something of that nature. Bit of a miscall there, I think, from Team Liquid, but that's also the first rifle round that EDG have won. So, how they're in the lead is a bit of a miracle.
It is quite strange.
But they've pulled out some crazy stuff when it was required of them.
It's going against those expectations of how you'd expect the game to be going at this point. It does feel quite bizarre. There's an early util that was pumped into A lobby. Trailblazers being used as well. Quite early on here by Soulcast, just to clear out towards A. A lobby as well. Cam spotting out where Nats is playing. There's a push into mid. This is a double contact call. Paranoia, Hunter's Fury all the way through. Flash as well from behind. Nats holding down the fire. Buys enough time for Safe to also respond. Redgar playing up close. Wants to take the fight as well. Just pushes right past it. He's eager for it. Kang still in the action, still in the fight, but the Blade Storms just couldn't quite land it. The micro adjustment's not there with the aim, and so 5-5, Team Liquid. It's evened up.
Redgar's hit is Super Saiyan mode. The Grand Finals, it felt like watching a different player with Redgar. The regular season, it was up and down. He had some horrendous games. He had some good ones too, thrown in there. But when I watched him play in the Grand Finals, he's just hitting every shot. He's challenging like this, going for plays, confident with the swings. And I think that was one of the big reasons why they kind of brutalized Fnatic in a major upset. They're looking to carry that momentum forwards here too. They don't look scared of EDG.
It's necessary, I think. Like we've been talking about, a lot of hype around EDG, the firepower that they've got, the incredible plays they've been able to pull off.
There are 3 players in A-Long right now, but pings all over the minimap towards B. And I'm not sure what Haodong's cooking up here, but it's some kind of set pre-planned round from EDG. What is the play? They don't have Spike.
Trailblazer, I think spots at least 2 there, up onto A as well. This is all over the place, but...
And they've got nobody playing more of a lurk than I've ever seen from a Sova on Haven.
Safe. Does disengage inside the smoke. Oh my god, it's all over the place. Labored with the spray. Chichu claims the kill though, takes out the opposing Jet player.
And it looks like the idea there is to pull people away from A. It's actually triggered a reaction from Nats.
Yeah, and he's also pushed. Watch though, that's 2 players. Still, Nats lands one of the kills.
There go the Nano Swarms on A. It's all down to Solcast and Yampi to make something happen. Yampi caught.
Util out. Solcast is pushing now. He's got his knife out, man.
How? As much as we're finding it difficult to find the read on the flow of this game, you can see Liquid are having the same issues. That none of the Team Liquid players had a clue what was going on in this round, and for good reason. Again, this is scramble. This is how EDG are going to mess with you, because they just play some of these maps so differently. Gone are the days where they just held W and were extraordinarily predictable. They're now going to mess with your heads, mess with the flow of the game. I mean, who expects the Cypher Sova to be aggressively taking garage control to bait out A pushes?
It is so quite odd. I mean,
they play differently.
They do play differently. Credit to Howdong as well, his calling style. He's added that nuance with every single international event Edward Gaming have just been developing. And the sky's the limit. They achieved their goals that they set out for, making the top 8. That's where they are right now.
Starting the final round again, and Safe and Yampi are playing for a bit of mid control. They've spotted it now. And look, immediately, as soon as they know they're pushing Safe away from that spot, instantly pivot to A. I mean, the calls, the way that they're moving the map is really quite nice.
Haven't wasted time with it. Smoke's dropped down. Still with the dash, Kang. He's buying a lot of time, actually, with that Nano Swarm for the rest of the team to get in, because Team Liquid, they choose to flood all the way through. Howdong just TP'd right up close. Sinjoga will make a couple of plays like that. Chichu had the knife out. Definitely don't want to bring that one to the gunfight. Down towards short. Everybody fell. That's a flawless. What a weird and wacky half of Valorant we have just witnessed.
Yeah. I mean, if this is what the rest of the match is going to feel like, then we've got some bizarre situations in front of us. But I think, you know, you see the 2 Jets at the top of the screen. They've been delivering. I feel like the map, though, has come more down to who's got the read on what their opponents are doing.
Absolutely. 6-6 then. To decide this first half here of Haven. Even scoreline between both of these teams. Get to see which direction as well it will continue to go in, but let's send it down to the desk to break it down so far.
Thank you so much, fellas. And again, 6-6, half a closely contested game, but there were a few moments there where I agree with Brendan Sideshow, where I was like, man, what in tarnations are EDG doing? And they pull it off sometimes.
Yeah, I think that they were having the same experience as some players were having inside the server. I think that is the read on the read. Also, the kind of play style that maybe Liquid was not used to playing against regionally, but actually on the stage, trying to, you know, be innovative and get them off guard, catch them off guard, but not actually achieving that.
What's interesting too is to watch how EDG started their attacking half. We're talking Haven on attack, EDG. What are we expecting? I'm expecting Kong hitting left, right, soaring across the side, dropping freaking bombs as he goes, like just destroying things, and it wasn't that. Right? It was very meticulous. It was very pacey. It was very cautious. Right? Chichu kept trying to find timings. Kong had his moments, but it just wasn't what I expected.
But despite all of that, though, the Jets have showed up. They have been the difference makers, just not, as you said, Doug, in that bombastic, wild way that we would come to expect.
I think throughout the regular season in EMEA, we were getting a lot of that coming in from Safe. But if we also think about the compositions that they're playing and acknowledging the fact that they do not have a Sova, that duel, that initial duel that you have onto A-Luva is going to be different. Of course, moving on to the defense, Solcast is going to get creative. Of course, I think it's in some ways going to be easier to execute knowing that you have the power of those two flashers. But I don't know.
I want to see how Kong does on the defensive side, right? Get him posted up with an op. He had it early in the first half, and he even had instances when he was glaring across the stage in the first half. Never really materialized to what we're expecting.
Well, if you're Team Liquid, you're not believing on those attack win stats, you got to make sure that you put a stamp on this one and send it back over to Brendan Sideshow.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, you know, while the halftime is going on as well, me and Josh, we had a discussion. We've come to an agreement as well. we've been applying, I think, a little bit too much critical thought into the going on of the game.
Absolutely.
And we've agreed to
give up.
Well, maybe not give up, but we're gonna be rolling a little bit more, I think. Because
give up and enjoy the moment.
I think that is an important takeaway from this because
Kang has a sheriff.
He's got a sheriff. He's purchased it. He's 11-10. He's feeling it, and he wants to take it to the opposition of safe. But we see some aggression out of double doors, though.
Look at this setup in Garage. It's such a hard read. I think that's part of why the first half was bizarre too. Both teams so willing to stack areas on the defense. And it's not where Liquid are going to, again.
Yeah, so they're going to go straight down through into B. Dash now into the right side. Kang, that's a deep dart to clear some of it. He's just lurking this entire time. It was watched by Nats yet. Well, he falls. And they pounce straight out of double doors. Two of the players colliding, collapsing now onto it, but positions have been flipped around. Team Liquid, they want to take up the extremities on the one side of the map. Safe has to be aware of it. With that flank timing, a stun into the corner. Shots rattled, only needs the two. Sokas, he's got to hold his line. Towards the back of the site with the ghost. Tap, 6 bullets left. Cannot get the second. It's traded up to Redgar. It's planted for him. Out in the open, bit of a tap. Players are low. Just trying to bait out and hunt out a position. Redgar with that kill. Time really running short. Nobody needs to kill well. That's confidence, isn't it? The IGL feeling it.
These are self-known. These are the moments that Redgar is just pulling out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. He's just pulling magic out for Team Liquid in some of their most recent matches. It's a delight to watch. It reminds me of him running around playing Rainer on this map, back when they used to ban it all the time on Mech.
Let's fucking go.
All right, language. I know you're having fun out there.
Yeah. Keep it PG. Get a rule book out.
That's a huge round. You think about this. EDG, 4 out of 6 of the rounds that they've won have come out of pistol, follow-up, and 2 thrifties. So Liquid really have been getting over the line in most of these similar situations, but I just said it, the thrifties have been big for EDG.
The Marshall purchase pushing forwards. Information trying to be gathered here. Safe making the most of it as a stun. His face, 47 health, drops down. Smoggy's in. Oh, this is going a little bit all over the place. It needs to be contained, needs to be watched for. The classics. Has enough been done? Can nobody clean this one up? 2 players left standing. Safe will go down to really light breeze. He should be able to hear those footsteps.
Yeah, they can definitely hear him. Oh, nobody's going for the sound bait. He's faking like he's gone all the way through.
What will be watched? The plan goes down, though. I think Team Liquid should just play this quite safely. They have a turret. Take contact at main. And a swarm as well. As long as Nats plays his life, it really shouldn't be winnable for nobody. I mean, he does have a shock dart to clear some area of the plan, but, well, it's deaded early, so not even having that option, that chance. There it is, has to reload because the turret took up most of his time. First shot going to be missed there by Safe. He'll try and bait one of the fights as well, misses the first. And yeah, Team Liquid are really just playing this one excellently. There's a discipline, a wide swing, a wider facing as well. Just buying all that time. Let off the clock, 1 player left standing, it is Safe. So an expensive round. A round win nevertheless here for Team Liquid.
And it feels like they're slowly pulling out into the lead. Now we'll have to see what kind of buy they can get together for this one. It looks like they'd be incentivized to full commit. Soulcast going for a hero rifle, just taking a glance at the economy at the moment. It's kind of a tough decision for Liquid. You don't want to let EDG back into the game. You don't want to let them build up too much of an economy. You do want to try and keep it suppressed so Kang struggles to buy that operator. And here's another question, Brent. What is the pace going to look like for Team Liquid? Are they going to play as slowly as EDG did? Kakuka talked about it on the desk, how the stats say Team Liquid are one of the slowest teams on the attack side to get that first pick.
Yeah, the embodiment of that EMEA playstyle. A lot of the EDG players were talking about it, not long in particular. And style of play. Flash reclearance now into Garage. Into Cam. Taking a bit of that space, even a Nana Swarm into the corner as well. A lot of util being used to clear close to the Garage.
It's not a full commitment though. Not a C-split. It's baited out a bit of a defensive reaction from EDG. Liquid are just prodding around the map. That Nana Swarm, great for getting rid of enemy Killjoy utility. Not so great when Shishu's playing Cypher.
Yeah, that was a flash reclearance. Sure, nobody's in there. Now Trailblazer being used quite far back. Angle watch for. It's back and forth.
Again,
Players still
slow.
From EDG.
It's been over a minute here, Bren, and Team Liquid still looking just to now recommit back through Garage, which they cleared earlier, so now they're just going to contact in.
They gave it up and they heard the flash, I think, so they're
EDG,
worried about it being taken up again.
They still have 3 players over here towards C.
Here we go. Dash is there, fault line into the corner, stunned up. He needs some help, but Kang will not be receiving it. Where's the team to try and bail him out? Chichu's there. Dodge to the side with a flash. No kill. Found. Time running short. Aftershock to try and disrupt this plan. They want to flood right back into it. Where's the util? Just raw gun duels. Beaming them down. The clock just bled down a little bit too much there. Time was of the essence, and it really did turn up the heat, I think, for Team Liquid to try and win out those gun duels.
So not the most expensive one in the world. But now Team Liquid are going to have rifles on board. This game is so close. Kang's not built up enough money to be able to buy his operator, though. And he's still 1 away from the Blade Storm. So that major win condition of getting Kang an op on defense side is not going to be there.
10 seconds left.
1 enemy remaining. Spike.
If they win this round, though, that's when you start to see the Kang op come out. So this one is going to be massively important. Team Liquid would love to win it, not just to get them up to 9, but to stop one of EDG's major win conditions.
Here.
Might take it towards a lobby, flash corner. No one breaking the dart though, so nobody will pick up the orb, get his ult online. Does Fury now around and available? Just in case.
And with how slow Liquid have been playing, that Hunter's Fury may end up being very decisive, you know, about 40 seconds to a minute from now. Having said that, Team Liquid are grouping up towards B with the spike as if they may want to hit here a little earlier than they did last time.
Spamming to see if they can catch some of this Cypher utility.
That's something EDG don't have to deal with very much in China. I think they've got away with running the Cypher comp because the other Chinese teams really don't prioritize that.
Same pathing from Safe. He's done that a few times now. He's getting spammed out by Smoggy. Lucky to get away with his life, but they do gain the sight as a result of it.
Hunter's Fury?
Here it is. It's being unleashed. Doesn't get a tag, though. It's slightly delayed. Does clear out towards the front section of B, so his team can start to get back into it, but there's not really too much urgency from EDG, and now a call is made. So it's going to be a reclearance through Garage.
Yeah, and a reflank through A short.
Still, this trip in their face, and it's being watched. Howdong's there. Still expect a second. Was actually clearing that close corner, just ends up losing the duel. Here we go. It's all over the place. Util. And straight flying, walking, wading right through the smoke. What is that from Soulcast? Resetting for it, buying time for Redgar, and he strikes back. Kang. It's a 1v3. Time running short. Man's just contacting, walking all over the place, looking to try and save there, but doesn't get away with it, does not save that weapon into the next.
This is what we're talking about with Team Liquid. Their game plan there looks lovely. They changed the pace. Team Liquid was slightly faster in their ability to get a B plan down. They hadn't defaulted towards Garage, broken the trip. They just went for it. They went for it, they planted, and then afterwards, they instantly pushed the main amount of their team through Garage to try and create pressure in the C connector, and they have Redgar lurking through A. They wasted not a moment. And now they've hurt the economy desperately of Edward Gaming. They need a Kang round from the Blade Storm. They need it now.
They certainly do. This map could quickly spiral out of their control. It's EDG's map pick. Kang's going to be pushed up into the 4 position with the amount that Team Liquid have been putting into like the slow attacking mid-default, trying to break a lot of the Cypher utility. It's a bit of a gamble. It's a good one. Because guess what? He might have some targets. They are slowly creeping onto his corners. A jump spot and a face by Safe. He was not worried.
He's been so good. Safe has just been incredible at finding these players in dodgy little spots and rooting them out.
Credit to Team Liquid there as well. I mean, Safe just had full confidence that he was being covered. He heard the jump spot, but he didn't, you know, swap his crosshair placement over towards the middle area. They knew what their goal was, and it was to clear close. Here's a Seeker, used up close, nobody trying to get away with it inside the smoke. Seekers are broken, but this time Team Liquid going all the way over towards C. Still, players towards the back, that's Howdong inside the smoke still. When will it be going down? Not too sure, but just trying to play inside of it, hoping somebody walks himself in. Another smoke, drop down at the choke towards the back, Safe clears it. Adjustment with the aim of the team as well. They've got his back, Shorty. Out in his hands, might want to try and take it straight to them. There it is, there's 1B. One in the chamber left still. Nobody though brings him down. Confidence trying to slow down the shots in between as well to land it, but it is cleaned up with 4 players surviving of Liquid. That's going to be the 10th round that they get. Steadily getting closer now as well.
Redgar looks so chilled out. He's taking a sip of his drink towards the end there.
30 seconds left.
The round had only ended. He's just like, yeah, all right, we got it. No worries. On to the next. Round 18. Kang finally has an operator in his hand. Could that be the game changer?
It's going to have to be, but I mean, Safe is running away with it. 19,
certainly is.
13, playing with something to prove. A lot of people, the community narratives making excuses for Fnatic losing that finals. They've got something to prove indeed, and well, okay, bit of an omen battle.
Yeah, that one.
What was Redgar doing?
Well, Redgar was just inside his smoke. That's Redgar's smoke. You expect that to be a safe area. I would ask, what is Howdong doing? He just ran in there, but he just acted like it was a Thunderdome and took the duel.
They're running straight in now. They're going to take the C site. That's waiting as well for the reswing. It's all being cut up by the dash in play. There's a plan.
Spike planted.
Salves into the post. Kang with a dash here. Flash not connecting.
Yampi is about to rip the ult.
Yeah, it's a Rolling Thunder right in his hands, but he's out in the open. His backside showing, mate. Pull the trousers up. Come on, get on with it. Kang round the side now, using smokes to reposition. Spots it potentially. One hit there. No, not quite. Nats, he's still there. Peekaboo right round the sides. Doesn't get the second kill he was looking for. 2 players left standing here for Liquid. Players flooding in, but his timing is everything from Safe. He's flashed. It's a bit of a team flash. So cast. He goes down to Safe. Half on the defuse. Updraft over the top. Howdong puts it down and claims the round.
Another quicker one from Team Liquid, EDG. It feels like they want to fight. Right from the beginning, as soon as Howdong just sprinted into the smoke and took down Redgar, which we'll see. Look at this replay. I mean, they get a stun.
Yeah, it's a stun reclear.
But they don't know, as far as I'm aware, that Redgar's in there. I think Redgar must have teleported, and they
he was spamming before he jumped into the smoke.
Absolutely.
Which means he must have had some indication.
Yeah, I heard a footstep or something. But EDG get a much-needed round here that keeps the operator in Kang's hands. He's going to be taking it on a walk down C long. With the camera to start with.
Yeah, taking liberties.
Yeah, and that's going to allow Shishu to rotate off. But it doesn't really look like Kang's op is going to be the difference maker here. He's so far away from where the action's actually going to be happening. And Team Liquid, they dictate the place of battle.
You should run.
Yeah, it's the same foresight that's being put in by this Liquid squad. Lockdown here is going to clear all the way through to B, the backside of C. They can go in whatever direction they want. Wait it out, try and re-clear. Now they didn't break the trip close. That's actually going to be catching onto, I believe, was that Yampi?
Yeah, Yampi.
So Yampi's going to be beamed down. Here's a Rolling Thunder. Attempt and a play. EDG just pushing on every single section of the map right now. Kang with the operator. Decided to take that flank timing with still chance. There it is, hits the flick. The wide face by Nats. Spike's been dropped down into the middle of nowhere, 2v5. Nobody doesn't aim to take another aim duel to give away their chances. This time, quite patient. Ping into the corner, letting his team know that could be a player close there tucked.
He's right.
Certainly is. But despite drop down, there's 20 seconds left. Oh, the timing on that. Yeah, just looking the wrong way for it. First part of the puzzle taken care of, but Kang immediately answers back and he says, okay, I'm going to flip the puzzle table. Not getting away with it, you're not going to be able to carry it forwards.
And Solkas has no chance of being able to win this one. So it's so strange watching Team Liquid run these fast plays, actually, because they're running all of their protocols as if they're playing against a Killjoy. They're not breaking the trip at the front, but Nats is throwing a Nanoswarm to get rid of Killjoy utility. That doesn't exist, but he's just doing it because he's used to doing it, because he's normally playing against Killjoy players. And he's not adapting, saving the Nanoswarm for post plan and looking for a trip to break. That's just lost them that round, because they're not thinking about how to adjust based on playing against the Cypher. Which is weird to me, Brent, because they were actually defaulting Garage and breaking cam and breaking trips when they were thinking about it.
And also Team Liquid were the one team that were running the Cypher the most on this map.
Absolutely.
No more than anyone, right? How to be taking care of the Cypher util, but...
So this is a couple of rounds towards the end here. They're about the only ones that EDG have been able to string together in a row this entire map.
Yeah.
And yet the score is still 10-9. it feels like Liquid are in control of the game. And then you look at the scoreboard, and they just simply aren't. EDG have been able to find those moments and, you know, put together a couple good ones in round 18, 19 to still make a serious run of this.
Vibing to this music.
Bobbing
away, man.
I don't know where the Liquid will be. They might be feeling the pressure just a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was very interesting. We were talking to Emil, the head coach of Team Liquid, about why he thought they won against Fnatic. And I was expecting to hear a response about the strategy or, you know, map pool or something like that. He said, I think he brought more energy that day. Like, you just need a certain energy when you come into games where you know you're going to win and you feel confident you're going to win. He said, we had that on that day. They haven't played in a while. They're kind of cold, you know?
Yeah.
You might need a bit of a warm-up. Yampy barking in order to get into a match like this properly.
Yeah. Please do not repeat in my ranked games. Okay, Dog forwards into the back. That's going to clear out towards Gong. It's a stun in the dark, but, well, Smoke's watched for. Into the corner goes safe, and, well, the Aftershock actually didn't do any damage. He's able to get out of there with the updraft. It's a flood attempt into the back. Look at that crosshair placement.
He looks
immaculate.
amazing.
Precision from Safe. It's just sublime, but it's answered. It's met. Howdong's there. And guess what? Kang also on the flank with this up. Just getting a sightline onto it, a tap onto it. That's going to force Yampy to look the other direction with the Rolling Thunder, just in case they are on it. No kills claimed off of it, but Kang is taken care of now. Brought down. 2 left standing here for EDG with Nats on this reflank. There's the one. Chichu not able to get out alive. So 11-9. Adjustments were made off the back of that timeout, and Team Liquid actually looked quite in control of everything that was going on.
Yep. They lean heavily on Safe to get them into the site and get the plant down, and he is delivering today. 23 kills. Absolute perfection in terms of the space that he's controlling and the shots he's hitting. And this one's gorgeous. And then their post plants are really dynamic. They always have plans for them. Nats was on a flank. Yampy had his ult. They're developing plans for the post plant before the spike even goes down. EDG aren't really stopping them from getting those plants on B. They're always trying to spam where Safe is, but they haven't got the kill just yet. Kankan maybe feels like he needs to force the issue. There it is again, Redgar punished. All right, Redgar, you need to chill on that one now.
Kankan's also going to be taken out. Oh my, swing through the double doors. It's just Cyber players doing that. All popped up. We're giving them information at least that, yeah, now they see where Safe is on the minimap. So a bit of chaos just sowed in at the beginning. Cam finally taken care of. Not even at the minute mark yet in the round, but it's a 2-player disadvantage. Anything's possible though when Safe has those knives.
And they give him a lot of space.
Yeah, he's just able to wade and walk all the way through into this.
They've given him respect because he's good, but that gives him more room to work with.
Howdong spots it. Here's the pressure being applied now towards C as well. Up, barreling through into C long.
He's running around.
Still a trip in their face. Yeah, it's finally broken. Backing away and regrouping with the rest of the team. So EDG actually did use that as a chance to try and get out of there. As the tap comes through, there's a stun. A Hunter's Fury just trying to flood potentially back into this one. Do they want to take a fight off of it? Gonna have to adjust it. No one's actually really getting into the site off the back of that big ult. In fact, they've stopped it. Yampy now, with plenty of time left, is going to get that plant down after baiting out all of these key pieces of util, and Soulcast is definitely feeling it. Wide-faced Chichu, only the one before traded. Nobody. Looks his way into the back of the sides. He sees the barrel. Sees the barrel, doesn't land the shot though. It's baited to the side and the spray. Rifle not cooled down. Yampy can take that fight cleanly.
There was a chance, and yet Team Liquid moved their way up to map point. On their opponent's map pick, no less. Things are not going to get easier for EDG. They haven't played Split or Lotus at all. Oh. Most recently in China. So we have no idea what's going to happen map 2, map 3.
Deeper into the series.
But they would have liked an early start. Something to work off.
Timeout taken though. Map's not over just yet. 12-9 with Team Liquid. More round, that'll put Haven under their belt.
Kangkang's negative towards the end of a game. I feel like we haven't seen that all tournament long. And of course, EDG have been playing in the groups. They've been playing against the number 4 seed in EMEA. which is weird. But that's Na'Vi.
Na'Vi.
Yeah, and they've been playing against the number 3 seed in Pacific as well in T1. So this is a big step up, right? Team Liquid have achieved much more than those opponents that EDG have been able to beat. The Cinderella runs get more and more difficult as you go. That's part of what was so impressive about EG just beating Loud right before this match. But in terms of Kankan, what we've seen from him so far in the tournament, he's averaged 280 ACS with a kill per round.
Which is just ludicrous.
And like, about once every 4 rounds, he's going to give you a first kill as well. It has been bonkers. Easily the highest producing player in the tournament so far. And yet, Safe and the rest of Liquid have waded in here, ready to show them how it's done in playoffs.
This is that #1 EDAC. Liquid also, a team that we haven't spoken about it as much, but they do have quite a bit to prove. People making a lot of excuses for Fnatic. Isn't that finals? Here we go. Cage brought up close here. Still a trip in the face as well. Updraft dash forwards onto the platform.
It's so perfect.
Oh my goodness. And a flash and a repeat. Way to the side. He brought down 2 of them. It crumbles. EDG have to do so much here. You can feel it. Kankan with the updraft and a Knives of Blade. Someone in 1 left. In his back pocket, Yambi takes a swing of things. Why not? Push back. Nobody who was pushing deep. 2 players close. Round here, it's all on Kankan and so much to do. Just cannot quite get it done. Map 1. Team Liquid lock it up. 13-9.
Close game. A fairly fun one. But Team Liquid will be happy about that. They eased into it towards the end. And Safe just looked unstoppable. All of their execs set him up to succeed. I mean, here, he is inside the cage. He's waiting for defensive utility. Okay, no defensive utility gets used. Now I'll commit. He's in, he checks the close corner. He's correct, he gets the kill. I feel like we saw Safe destroying the Edward Gaming players that were tucked into one-and-dones so often, just all the time. And he ends with 8 first bloods. He had 80% of his team's first bloods.
Yeah. He's delivering. Usual day in the office, really, for Safe as well. That's the crazy thing about him, man. Yeah. You cannot forget about this guy. There's a lot of hype.
1 enemy remaining.
Asma Sturker, of course, for good reasons as well, but the seed of EDA is Liquid looking to see. They can really set the tone of this tournament here in the playoffs.
It's going to be intriguing to see what they go for. I mean, like I said,
gonna get the split.
Next map, we've got no clue. I'm pretty sure the big reason that Team Liquid have gone for split, I mean, as their map pick, they're good on this map too. It's because EDG just haven't been playing it. It's not, EDG have been banning Lotus in China, and that's map 3, and they've also just not been playing split at all. They were winning it, but they haven't played it since, I think, mid-April.
Yeah, since the Act 1 of FGC.
That is a long, long time ago.
Yeah, in case you're not in the know, they played the entirety of Act 2. And so they haven't played split in that time. It's not a map that they've played much, so it's really going to be a lot of unknowns that we're going to be finding out here. But Liquid definitely came here to play. The vibes are good. It's heard as well behind the scenes, they're taking it easier to practice. They're exploring Tokyo, they're making the most of it. You can feel it. How they're playing.
10 seconds left. 1 enemy remaining.
The having fun buff really does seem real here in Tokyo. Yeah. And there is no team, in my opinion, that embodies that more than Liquid.
Yeah, they are definitely just enjoying the moment throughout, of course. But that's just map 1 in this series. That was wrapped up, of course, by Team Liquid. Plenty more to go. Let's send it to a quick break on the other side of things. Our analyst desk will be breaking it all down.